one of my good friends, Dr. Mike Leath, Chief Medical Officer of Memorial Hermann Prevention and Recovery Center. Welcome.
Thank you. It's really a kick to be here. When you let me know a few weeks ago you were doing these podcasts, I thought that's really a great idea. And then you asked me to be on one of them, and I thought, that's awesome idea.
Yeah.
Awesome idea.
Sounded even better then, huh?
And I get to see Julie, so this is a real treat for me.
Give us a little bit of your history, sort of like how did you get into doing what you're doing?
I did sort of come in the back door. I didn't even know addiction medicine was a specialty. I'd been a family medicine doctor. I'd been part of an ER group. And then I ended up getting into a lot of trouble, went before the medical board, lost my license for a year, worked as a plumber's helper, which was what needed to happen to me. I really needed to be taken down a few notches, and that did it. But it was a great year. And actually, I learned some very practical, cool stuff, worked with some cool guys on the plumbing crew. And then when when the medical board reinstated my license, Dr. Gene Degner, who I think probably taught more people addiction medicine around here than anyone else, he had asked me about what I think about addiction medicine. I didn't know what he meant. I said, yeah, I think it's cool, Gene. He said, well, what would you think about maybe trying it? I said, you mean it's a job? He said, yeah, it's a job. And I thought, well, I thought to myself, well, the emergency rooms aren't calling me back. And I kind of thought that would happen, but that's not happening. And I need a job. And thought, yeah, Gene, I'll do that. Knowing that within a few months, I'll be back in the emergency room. Well, that was 17 years ago? Something like that. After doing it just for a few weeks, I thought, man, this is bad to the bone. I'm getting to practice medicine. I'm actually getting to help people. I mean, really help people who are down like I was down.
Was this after your relapse while on board order?
Relapse is plural on board order.
Yeah. So let's back up.
Yeah. So once I finally got it, I got it. Until then, I was playing games. I consider myself as a pharmacist and a doctor. I thought I've forgotten more about medicine these people are going to know. I was wrong on two levels. One, their drug screens, I guess, advanced faster than I thought they were advancing.
Right. You're trying to beat the system.
And I was pretty good at it for a while until I wasn't. Another thing is I knew pharmacology and I knew medicine, but I didn't know addiction.
Yeah.
And I was an addict. And that's what I didn't know.
So I think our listeners, what they want to hear is, what were you thinking? How did you try to beat it? So I'm going to back you up. You were a pharmacist before you were an MD.
That's right.
What made you decide to be a doctor of medicine instead of pharmacy?
Well, I wanted to go to medical school. But back then it was really hard to get in. I mean, everybody had high MCATs. Everybody had high GPAs. Everybody, there's a lot of great applicants and most people didn't get in. And so I thought, well, in the event I don't get in, which is statistically likely to happen, I wanted to have a job that A, I found interesting, and B, that would provide me a good living. And pharmacy just seemed to fit that. I'd worked in drugstores, actually delivered medicine, drove a delivery car back home, so I thought, and the pharmacists that I'd gotten to know back home were really cool guys. I thought, I really like what they do.
So I didn't know that. So did you apply and not get in med school and then went?
No, not at all. It was just hard to get in. When I applied to medical school, I got in. So I think
you would have got in anyway.
I don't know.
Your MCAT was probably like higher than mine. You probably
it was okay. It was good. It was better than my GPA, that's for sure.
Yeah, mine too. That's how I got in. But okay, so then you become a doctor. You went to UTMB Medical School.
I did.
And then residency in family medicine
here in Houston
at
Southwest.
You weren't sober, but were you bad off? Like when you started out?
No, I was an alcohol enthusiast. I really enjoyed having fun, and I think I just kind of continued that fraternity lifestyle. I mean, my roommate in residency was a buddy of mine from my fraternity, and we just kind of kept it going.
Like med school fraternity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
just kind of kept it going, and then I graduated, and I just sort of kept it going.
So how much were you drinking?
I don't know. I mean, I probably should know that. I don't really.
Like just out. It's not like you were hitting the bottle every day.
No, not at all. But I would play. I got up, I ran, rode my bike, worked out every morning, worked. I mean, I had a busy practice as part of an ER group, played tennis on a local level, but
Yeah.
semi-competitive tennis, 2 or 3, sometimes 4 times a week. So I was pretty active, but the guys that I ran around with, we would always go to the Richmond Arms or where, I don't mean to plug a local bar, but in this
It's okay.
context,
They're sponsoring today's episode.
but, so that's sort of what we did. Where I really developed a problem, though, was I was in private practice. I was going through an acrimonious divorce,
That's right.
and my oldest son, he's now 26. He's a little bitty boy then. Was going through some child custody. I was worried about losing him, and I had this headache. It went on for days. It wouldn't go away. Tried all the typical stuff, and it wouldn't go away. I had hydrocodone, a lot of it, because I did a lot of procedures. We were sampled a lot of hydrocodone a day. And I didn't want to take it because I'd taken it 2 other occasions. Once I'd taken it when I had my wisdom teeth extracted in pharmacy school, made me sick. Had it again, and I had a car hit me on a motorcycle when I was in medical school, had surgery, and I didn't like the narcotics, made me sick. So I was really reluctant to take it again.
Right. And what you said really quick for our listeners is that you got them sampled. Like today, drug reps will give samples of things like antidepressants and things for blood pressure, and it's no longer legal to give out samples of pain medicine. But you had a lot of samples, right? So this was back.
This is in the day. And for instance, like an OB-GYN would have like just tons and tons of birth control pills. A pediatrician would have tons of like liquid antibiotics.
Right.
I did a lot of procedures as part of the ER. So I took care of a lot of pain. So I had a lot of prescriptions of pain medicine.
Right. So, okay. So then you started taking for the headache.
I took one for a headache, for this headache that wouldn't go away. And I can tell you where I was standing when that feeling hit me. To this day, I remember the first pill, where I was standing when that feeling came over. And it was just every bit of anxiety. I didn't know that feeling in my gut was anxiety. I didn't know that what I was experiencing was anxiety, and it went away. And I felt like was made out of Teflon.
Yeah, that's what a lot of, I could tell you the same thing. Yeah, a lot of addicts say that was the most normal I ever felt when I fill in the blank.
That's it. And that's what I felt. I didn't feel wildly high. I just felt normal. But I remember it was so incredible to feel normal.
Right. Those feelings weren't in the forefront, like bogging you down, occupying you, no longer the stress headache. And you feel like, and this is the illusion that, okay, well, now I can get on with the rest of my life with zip and some vigor. Of course, it's like crazy. It's illusionary. But then, so I'm guessing that one turned into a habit, how did you get caught? Like what was it like right before, and sort of what was the intervention, the first one?
I got a call from the head of the ER one night. Hey, sometimes we would switch shifts and all that. He goes, I just want to make sure you'll be here tomorrow. I said, yeah, I'll be here. Why do you ask? He goes, we need to have a talk. I thought,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know that I put it together. I was
really?
So oblivious. Yeah. Wonder what this is going to be about. Either way, so he shows up, and I show up, and he's there. And we were all sort of friends. I know this is a hard conversation he had to have with me.
Right.
But he was, saying that he'd gotten a phone call that I was abusing drugs. I said, what? Yeah, I think I even acted offended.
I'm not abusing them. I'm taking them for...
Yeah.
Right.
Don't you remember that I'm a pharmacist? Don't you remember how much I know about drugs? He said, you need to call the board. I said, okay, I'll do that. He goes, no. You need to call the board.
Right.
And I did, and self-reported, but my head was still spinning. I remember thinking, I got to figure this one out.
What do you do now when clients are sitting in front of you and they're trying to give you every answer under the sun about how the drug screen couldn't possibly be positive? It was the poppy seeds from the bagels that I got from Kroger.
Yeah, I usually like a cat with it. Sometimes I'll have fun,
Let them dig a little bit.
But you're really skilled at it because you yourself were someone that kind of figured it out.
I feel like I created a lot of the tricks.
Yeah. So they're following the Leath method?
And I thought you were humble. Look at him.